try to clear you. And I was that kid, bro. I was the same motherfucker I am now, right? Like, quick to the front of the line. I'm a little kid. I could get in front of all these people. You know what I mean? Go between legs and fucking. I always ended up with the autograph at the show and shit like that, right? You know,
Yeah.
if the players came out through the curtain or the tunnel at the game, I was always in that bitch. So we go to Izod Center and the line's there, and I'll never forget. It was around the time that they came out with the Jakks action figures. The fucking big ones were the first big ones where the legs and the arms moved after Hasbro, right? They came out with Goldust, Bret Hart, Undertaker, Diesel, Shawn Michaels, and Razor Ramon, right? And Mankind, I think was the original set. And that was the debut of them, was in that Izod Center at that house show that you were at. And you were waiting, and I look at what's this fucking line for, yo? And I'm the most loud kid. I'm like crazy, outgoing, ready to talk to anybody. When we waited online to meet you and Sean, we had to each choose one. My sister and I, we split it and we flipped the coin. It was like whoever you meet Diesel or I meet Sean, it doesn't fucking matter, right? So my dad couldn't afford to do both. So you got to meet my sister and I met Sean, but we were both sitting there waiting. And I'll never forget when I was a kid, Sean was like, "Hey kid, how are you?" or whatever. Yo, I froze the fuck up. I couldn't speak words. And that was the first time and maybe the last time to this day that I was speechless by another motherfucker. I couldn't say. And then when they picked me up and took me off his lap and started walking me away, I was like, wait, no. I have so much I want to say. I have so much I want to tell that man. And that was the first time I met you, bro. There it is. After fucking my 20, dude, don't get me going. I'll put my mouth on a treadmill. I'll give you sound bites. I'll give you substance, you know.
So you're talking about your mouth. So you came up in this show, and this is kind of how we got on the Enzo train to get you here. Because we played a promo. Steve, I don't remember. Do you remember who he was about to wrestle?
He was just wrestling. It was just it was a nobody.
It was Joey Janela.
Oh, okay. I
never wrestled Joey Janela.
No,
never wrestled Joey Janela.
Maybe you were just randomly cutting a promo on him on video for some reason?
No, it was somebody else. It was just some guy. He was just.
But you did. It was like a 3-minute promo, and you were in your normal manic state. And did we play it on air or was it off air? I know I talked about it on air. Okay.
No,
I said to everybody, I said, Kev, this is why you can't teach what it takes to succeed in the business. Because when someone can take a microphone and they have that, like, you can't stop listening until they're done, it can't be taught. So I said, here's a perfect example. And we played this clip where you were like a machine gun of the mouth. But it was all focused. It got insane at times, but you kept on point. And I said, that's it. The guy barely took a breath. I didn't stop listening, nor did I want to stop listening. And I don't give a shit what he's going to do in the ring. I'm going to go. And I don't give a shit. And that's what Roddy Piper's entire career was. What? The punch, the chop, and the eye poke? Give me a fucking break. It was what he did with the stick. And you cannot teach interesting. You can't do it. Kev, you agree, obviously.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys, thanks for that, man. That's humbling. I appreciate it. I don't know what else to tell you. I had a great run, and me and Cass call it the fun run, dude. We just had fun, man. Behind the curtain, on the other side.
That's SummerSlam.
Crazy, you know. One of us, maybe both of us, almost died. You know what I mean? But shit, we're both alive.
That's a good run. That's a good run.
If you don't
man.
almost die on your run, then you weren't having fun. You know?
you weren't doing it right. If somebody didn't OD every third to eighth fucking tour, you weren't running hard enough.
What is the most important thing you learned that you were taught? Now, I have in my notes here, and you never know on the internet, so I got to ask you. trained by Joe DeFranco at DeFranco's. Now, this sounds like a deli in Jersey or something. What is DeFranco's, and what was the most valuable thing that you did learn that you were taught?
Oh wow, that's a difficult question. But here's the DeFranco story. All right, look at this. See this tattoo?
Yes.
Okay. Joe DeFranco was the most renowned strength coach in college athletics in North Jersey. And I was a high school kid, and I was playing ball with kids like Brian Cushing and the McCourty twins and shit growing up. And I wanted to train with the best. So when I wanted to train with the best, I couldn't afford it. My dad couldn't afford to send me there, right? But I played in the North Jersey All-Star football game, represented the North in the All-Star game, and I wanted to play college football. So when I was a junior in high school, this college that my buddy went to was called Springfield College. John Cena went there, right? And I knew that. And the kid who I'm talking about is Joe Harasimiak, the present day defensive coordinator, making $1 million plus a year for Rutgers. So Rutgers defensive coordinator was my high school quarterback. And he went on to be a 3-year All-American at Springfield College in Massachusetts, where John Cena went. So I'm a junior in high school, and I'm training with this trainer, Joe DeFranco, and everybody knows I want to be a wrestler there. But I don't even know about the indies. Don't even know what it is. But I used to play up like The Miz did in Real World. He would come in and be like this wrestler character. I used to do that at the gym, joking around, call myself EA all day, right? So everybody knew me as EA all day, like the wrestler persona at the Franco's gym, right? But none of those guys that played pro ball and shit, they didn't know wrestling. So I go to Springfield College in Massachusetts, and that's where John Cena went. I thought in my brain that if I go to the school that John Cena goes to, that he's the champion, this is how I'll get in, right? Like, I'll go there, I'll play football, and I'll just fucking get in the WWE. I don't know how you get in there. So, P.S., I actually, true story, all up in the newspapers, I got kicked out of college for beating the shit out of a kid who had to go to court and got crazy shit happen to him. I defended a girl who got raped. All right. Like, she got touched in the middle of the night, sexually assaulted in her dorm. And I went and beat the shit out of the kid. And they kicked me out of college. But that kid played lacrosse, and the Duke lacrosse scandal was going on. So they settled out of school to let me out. So I ended up getting kicked out of Springfield. But the coaches at Springfield liked me. So they called this school Salisbury. And they're like, hey, this kid got kicked out of school here, because they both ran the triple option. They traded tape, so they knew each other. So they called Salisbury, and they're like, yo, this kid's a good kid. He got kicked out of school for a bad reason. His grades are fine. Can you look at him? So one thing, I'm at my house, I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm DJing. My dad's a DJ, right? I'm fucking withering away, not working out. I'm DJing. I got to pay off these lawyers and shit. So I'm working on a moving truck, delivering pizza. And my dad gets a phone call from Salisbury. He's like, you're going to fucking Salisbury. Next thing I know, I'm at Salisbury University playing football. Brian Westbrook's brother, the Philadelphia Eagles, he was the corner on our team, and he ended up playing for this Redskins for 7 years. Salisbury was a top 5 D3 program in the country. Every year that I was there, we were dirty.
But now I just got to interrupt you for one. Let me interrupt you 1 second. Are you still wanting to be a wrestler, or you're just still enamored by wrestling, doing that persona, never really planning for a wrestling career? Did you want to play pro football?
So I was a white defensive back. I knew I wasn't going to make it to the league, right? But I didn't have a chance, but I knew I wanted to be a wrestler. So when I finished playing college football, I was going to DeFranco's still, because that's where I was. That's my people. This is what I know. Now football's over. What the fuck do I do? I'm working out for nothing. No, like, I'm just going to the gym to hang out and like work out for nothing. So I started boxing, and then I started doing a little jujitsu and shit, thinking that would get me prepared for wrestling, not realizing that none of that shit does at all. So I'm like, one day I'm at DeFranco's gym and I got this tattoo on my leg when I was 17 for a free lifetime membership to Joe's gym because I couldn't afford to train there. So now Joe's been my trainer and my mentor from the age of like 14 to now I'm 23 years old. He gets a phone call from a guy who wants to start training with him, Paul Levesque. Nobody knows who Paul Levesque is in the gym. I fucking, my fucking dick hit the ground. I was like, call that motherfucker back, bro. Call back. Call back. So like we sat there while Joe was like little kids, because he only trained NFL athletes. He didn't know this world of wrestling or anything about it. So we sat there and he's like, he called him back. He's like, I'm training him next week. I'm like, no fucking way. So now in my brain, that phone call just happened. I'm gonna start working out and make a promo so that maybe I could show it to Triple H through Joe DeFranco. So I start compiling all my workout videos. I start doing like real training for boxing, and then the video that I make to give to Joe, like YouTube, I never made a YouTube or anything before. I made this video of me working out. I did a 55-inch box jump. I squatted 485. I deadlifted 565. I benched 225 over 15, 20 times. I brought down 365 and pushed up like 335. And the video's on the internet, so I'm not fucking lying. You know, anybody can do the research, they'll see it. I ain't lying. So it was I was fresh out of college football, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, still in good shape at that time. And the best shape of my life never was in the WWE. So reluctantly enough. But
Kev, do you agree with that? When you played at Tennessee, were you in the best shape or in the pros basketball? Was that your best conditioning, or was it in wrestling?
It's such a different conditioning, you know.
For
Like
basketball specifically, you're saying?
Yeah, because basketball, there's a whistle. Fucking, you get out there and go fucking 25 minutes with somebody. I mean, yeah, you learn how to wrestle or rest and shit and grab holds, but when you're fucking feeding the comeback and you're blown up, there's no fucking timeouts.
Hey, I gotta say something.
You just chug.
Kev, how about the fact that we never get a water break?
Right.
Right? No water. In every other sport, you're drinking water. Every one of them. You're out there for an hour wrestling. You fucking party. Good fucking luck.
That's why you got to make sure you get your beers in you the night before.
So, picking up where I left off, I get this DeFranco's tattoo, and he gets this fucking phone call of a lifetime from Triple H. So I start compiling this video, but never saying anything to Joe. Like we talk about wrestling, and I ask him questions about his training and shit with Triple H, but I never asked him to do this for me, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I felt it in his eyes, mind's eye, that my brother with their camera on me every single day is probably going to be doing something with it. My little brother today is one of the biggest music video makers in the world. He shot Post Malone, Justin Bieber, fucking Kanye, Lil Durk, and you name it, BTS, the Japanese Korean pop band or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my little brother is with Cole Bennett, which is Lyrical Lemonade, and they're the biggest fucking thing. If you look up on the internet, my brother's credits are everywhere. And he started with the camera with me in the gym. And he's been filming me as a kid. He shot my first music video. And personally to this day, like, that's what success is, if you ask me, is what is opportunity if it's not afforded on to others. Like my little brother making it, becoming the most successful music video maker in Hollywood, to me is like, yes, that's success. People can look at me after my wrestling career and say, oh, he did that. Bitch, you don't know what the fuck I did. And you don't know what the people around me are doing. If you put your people on, there it is. You did it. You did it.
Mm.
You know, that's all it ever meant to me. I came from a small town. Couldn't afford to train at this gym. Got a tattoo on my leg, right? So I'm working on moving trucks when this video that I wanted to show to Triple H, I put up on my YouTube, and I didn't have a YouTube, and this shit goes viral and gets up on this Barstool Sports website. And now it's because Victor Cruz is going to the Giants. Is going to the Super Bowl, and I played against Victor Cruz in high school, and I had like highlights of me slamming him and running past him for a 70-yard touchdown. And I'm like, yeah, Victor, if you could play for the Giants, so the fuck can I, bitch? Right? And this video goes viral on Barstool. And then the wrestling video goes. So then Joe nonchalantly shows Triple H. He's like, hey, I got this guy that trains at my gym who wants to be a wrestler, and he's going viral on Barstool. Watch this. So he shows Hunter the video, and then Hunter called me. And Hunter was like, I'll never forget. I was at the Blimpie in my town, which COVID took out. Fuck COVID. COVID took out Blimpie, okay? It took out some shitty people that deserve to be gone, probably. But that Blimpie deserves to be here. Anyway.
BB or a tuna? BB or a tuna?
I was a what is it? Buffalo chicken sandwich sliced.
Right.
My shit. So anyway. I'm at Blimpie and Hunter called me, and I'll never forget. I was in the parking lot, like I saw a 203 number, and I got news that he might be calling me and it'd be coming from Connecticut. And I'm like, hello. Next thing I know, I'm in a hotel room. First of all, this is the first flight I've ever been on alone in my life, and the first flight I've taken since I was 14. Okay, so I'm on a flight to Tampa for a tryout in the WWE in October of 2011. I'll never forget rehearsing my promo up in that hotel room, butt naked by myself, because I had never been in a nice hotel by myself. And they put you up in a place and they pay you to go for this tryout. I'm getting paid to do this. I'm up in the hotel room, butt naked, looking out at all the Tampa at the highest floor, looking in the mirror, just rehearsing my promo naked for an hour.
That's amazing. That's amazing, though. That's amazing that you got to cut the line, so to speak. You didn't have to wrestle indies for 10 years. You didn't have to wrestle Tom Brady in a VFW in Nutley. Okay. You got, just based on the charisma, back to my point, Paul
if you got something special, you fucking get to go to the front of the line.
Right.
I didn't have to fucking do any of that shit.
Right. That's the lesson. Be fucking interesting.
I don't know what the lesson is. I feel like stars aligned in my life as a movie. I feel like I'm in a simulation at times that is so incomprehensible. I don't even know how to begin to explain it. I got that tattoo on my leg, and next thing I know, I'm in the fucking WWE, bro. And when I cut the promo too, first of all, the first time I ever got in a ring, I remember walking in that building in Florida Championship Wrestling in 2011. It was the coolest thing that had ever happened in the world to me. I couldn't believe I was I had my elbows on a WWE ring, and I was ringside, looking around. To me, all I could think of was Tough Enough, because I always thought Tough Enough is how you get in the WWE. I'm just too tough enough after I'm done with fucking football. It's so I just never forget all the people that were on the roster at that time, looking it up on the internet, looking up every single person before I got there, and then looking up the coaches and who you're going to meet and shit like that, just for the tryout, And at that time, Dr. Tom was the head coach, and so I got a tryout in October of 2011, and I had never wrestled before, and I had mad heat walking through the door. Rumor had spread that Triple H had given me this tryout or something, my trainer trained him or something, and so people already knew that I never wrestled, and they were just burying the fuck out of me off the rip. But Big Cass knew me from Barstool Sports. He saw that video that went viral because he's a New Yorker. He watches Barstool, and he comes up to me and he's like, yo, you're that guy from Barstool, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, I am. He's like, oh shit. So he went up to a few of the boys and he was like, I hope they sign that guy. I'm going to make money with him. So
wow,
I get signed based on my tryout by my promo from Dusty Rhodes. I don't know. That's at least to my knowledge. So I cut the promo until no ovation, but people were popping, but they just tried to pretend they had no idea what the fuck just happened. What the fuck? Because it was an Enzo promo. It's what you've all seen me do. But it was back then. They found me like this, dog. They didn't make me like this. They found me like this. So I just cut a promo, and Dusty pulled me in a room and by myself with just me and him. And he was like, you could be good, you could be bad, or you could be different. And you're fucking different.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what it exactly meant. And he like opened the door. And it was like, that's all you said to me? And then he like opened the door, kind of like a nod, like you got my nod. Like I'm gonna fucking get you signed, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like looking at it back, like what happened there. But I left nervously and didn't hear from them for months. Like, oh, I'll rip my hair out. And P.S. I got signed. And I started July 1st in the first class that Triple H recruited in his first endeavor as the head of talent relations and whatever you called the future. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it was.
That's an amazing story. I mean, that
I came
really
in
is.
with like I told you, I think my life's a movie. I don't know what happened, but like there's like 30. There was like 30 people that came in with that class, and the only people you people know are Charlotte, Mojo, who's in the NFL, Baron Corbin, who was in the NFL, and Enzo, who was on the moving truck. That's who made it out of that 30 class. 4 of us.
See,